Okay, let's unpack this. Ever think about how facing something tough alongside someone completely different can actually unlock unexpected strengths?
Yeah, definitely.
That's really the core of what we're diving into today. This unlikely convergence of two pretty compelling figures within that shadowy world we know so well.
But what's fascinating here is just the contrast,
Yeah.
right from their foundations. You have Ryu, this driven martial artist. His entire life is about pursuing mastery, right? And he's grappling not just with opponents, but with that potent inner darkness.
Yeah.
Needs constant control.
Right. And then completely different, you've got Abel, a man just shrouded in mystery, his past wiped, amnesia.
Yeah.
And he's just desperately seeking answers about how he came to be. We know he's a product of genetic engineering.
Right. Tied into Bison's whole terrible legacy.
Exactly. A past he can't even really access directly, but it's clearly shaping him,
Well, if you look underneath, both Ryu and Abel are sort of wrestling with power and control, aren't they?
Yeah.
For Ryu, it's internal, finding balance. For Abel, it's external, trying to figure out how power was used on him and why.
That's a good point. So, okay, picture Ryu. He's drawn by this familiar but unsettling hum, a resonance. Psychopower, yeah. A force he knows all too well. And it leads him to this derelict S.I.N. research outpost, way up in some remote mountains.
You can almost smell the bad science still lingering there.
Totally. It's got that chilling echo of guys like Bison, like Seth, just baked into the balls.
And that psychopower resonance, it's not just random. It connects directly to the kind of darkness Ryu always finds himself fighting.
Right.
It's like a signal, pulling him into that sphere of conflict again, even though the place looks abandoned. Psychopower just has this specific signature he can sense.
Okay, so at the same time, completely separate from Ryu, Abel turns up.
Ah, right. Following a lead.
Exactly. From Guile, apparently. He suspects this facility might hold clues about his own S.I.N. connection, his origins.
And he carries himself differently, doesn't he? More intense, maybe? And the scars.
Yeah, the scars are mentioned, like these silent hints of a past he can't remember.
It's interesting, that parallel journey. Both drawn to the same place, this hub of forbidden science, even before they know the other exists, each looking for their own answers in the ruins.
So that first meeting,
yeah,
you can imagine, right? There's this palpable tension.
Well, yeah. Two serious fighters, weird, hostile-feeling place. Makes sense.
But then Ryu gives that little nod. Subtle, respectful.
Yeah, that nod says a lot about Ryu, doesn't it? It's like, I see you're a warrior, regardless of anything else. Respect before suspicion.
And Abel, he's wary at first, but he immediately picks up on the vibe of the place, says it feels wrong.
And Ryu agrees instantly. He senses it too.
It's that shared gut feeling, that recognition. Abel calls it echoes of something terrible that kind of starts to build a little bridge between them. Cautious, but it's there.
That shared sense, yeah. Agreeing on how fundamentally off the place is. That's their first real common ground, the basis for working together. Even tentatively, they're both reacting to the residue of those experiments.
So they figure, okay, let's explore this place together, this abandoned S.I.N. testing site. Part of Seth's network, we know that.
Yeah.
And even though it's derelict, it's not safe. You've got automated defenses kicking in, unstable experimental remnants, stuff still powered up somehow.
That immediate danger forces them to cooperate, doesn't it? They get to see what the other can do right away in a real situation, survival mode.
And this is where their styles just click.
It's amazing. Ryu's Hadoken, that focused energy burst, like the wind, they say.
Yeah, he's controlling space, hitting from range, swift, precise.
The Hadoken isn't just a fireball, is it? It's like an extension of his focus. Lets him engage from safety, kind of dictate the fight's rhythm. Like the wind really captures that speed, that evasiveness.
Then you got Abel, master grappler. Sambo, MMA influences.
Total opposite approach. He closes the distance with that daring of fire description. Gets in close, throws, submissions, neutralizes threats face to face.
Doesn't take a hit too, right? Absorbs impacts. Yeah, incredible resilience. His grappling perfectly complements Ryu's ranged game. He gets in, controls the opponent, handles the stuff Ryu might struggle with up close. That Sambo background means control, throws. The MMA adds strikes, a wider toolkit.
And they notice these things about each other. Ryu sees Abel's spirit, fighting on despite having no memory. And Abel sees Ryu's calm focus, the sheer power he controls so well.
It's not shaping up like a rivalry at all. It's an alliance built on respecting what the other brings to the table.
Exactly. They see the value in their differences. Ryu respects the tenacity, Abel respects the discipline. That's the foundation for them working together.
So their exploration takes them deeper, right to the source of those energy surges they felt, containment units.
Into
These incomplete biomechanical prototypes, chillingly similar to Abel himself. Remnants of Seth's whole twisted spare body research.
Wow, okay, so that confirms the S.I.N connection, obviously, but it makes it intensely personal for Abel. The stakes just shot way up for him.
You bet. And almost on cue, this big armored security unit activates, blocks their path.
Of course it does. Standard procedure for creepy abandoned labs.
Pretty much. So this thing is a major threat. Ryu steps up first, uses the Hadoken to kind of test its defenses, watch its patterns.
Calculated, smart, gathering info before committing. His movements are described as quiet of the forest. That fits focused observation.
But the unit hits back hard. Overwhelming force. That's when Abel jumps in, stands like, immovable as the mountain.
Uses his grappling?
Yeah. Redirects the big attacks, uses the machine's own force against it, basically. Creates openings for Ryu.
So Abel becomes the anchor, the immovable object neutralizing the power, while Ryu looks for the weak spot. Immovable mountain. Perfect description for that defensive role.
The synergy is just incredible. Ryu lands a shoryuken, perfectly timed, stuns the machine for a second.
And Abel's right there.
Instantly. Capitalizes with a throw, maybe a joint lock. They just keep combining their attacks. Ryu's energy weakening the core. Abel's control stopping the unit from fighting back effectively. It's key.
That coordinated attack just shows how well they click, doesn't it? Almost instinctual teamwork. Ryu strikes, creates the opening. Abel exploits it with his grappling.
So for the finish, Abel manages to get the prototype locked down in a critical hold.
Giving Ryu the shot he needs.
Exactly. Ryu then channels the power of nothingness, this newer thing for him, right? More about inner peace, controlled energy.
Right, not just raw power.
And he unleashes this super precise, powerful blast right at the core, deactivates the unit, and that oppressive energy they felt, gone, dissipates.
That power of nothingness.
Yeah.
It really shows Ryu's evolution, moving beyond just fury or instinct to focused intent. Using it precisely like that underlines his mastery.
So in the quiet aftermath, Abel finds these data logs, fragmented, incomplete.
But something.
Yeah, something. Snippets about S.I.N projects, potential clues about his past. Ryu actually sees the hope flicker in Abel's eyes.
That's huge for Abel. Even fragments. It's the first real lead he's had in his search for who he is. Finally, a direction.
And Ryu, watching this, kind of reflects, says something about the warrior's path being this continuous journey of discovery. Every challenge, every fight teaches you something new.
Very Ryu. Always learning, always growing. Conflict isn't just conflict. It's a source of insight for him.
Abel grabs the data, clutches it, says, "This gives me a lead. My search isn't over." Real determination there.
And Ryu gets it.
Totally. He gives this rare, genuine smile, says, "Nor is mine. We seek strength in different forms, but the pursuit is the same."
Nice. It highlights that even though their goals seem different on the surface, deep down, they're both on a quest for self-discovery, for understanding their own strength and purpose.
So one last nod, respectful, and they split up again. Abel's off, chasing this new lead, Ryu, back to training.
But something's changed.
Oh yeah, there's this bond now. Mutual respect, camaraderie, an unspoken thing. If their paths cross again, they'll help each other out.
That victory wasn't just about beating a machine. It was about finding connection, helping each other move forward in their search for truth.
It really leaves a mark on both of them, Shows that strength can come from these unexpected alliances. People with totally different backgrounds, different goals.
Finding common ground in the struggle.
Exactly. Okay, so some time passes. Ryu's back, doing his thing, secluded training spot, meditating, thinking about that weird energy, about the power of nothingness he used.
Constant introspection. That's key for Ryu. It's not just physical training. It's understanding himself, the forces around him.
Meanwhile, Abel's poring over those data logs he found.
Still fragmented, I think.
Yeah, frustratingly so. But he keeps seeing references to S.I.N's spare body projects, which is, well, it hits close to home for him, right? With the scars and the amnesia.
A chilling reminder of his engineered origins. Must fuel his determination even more.
And then suddenly, bam! The energy signature from that S.I.N complex flares up again.
Oh, stronger this time.
Stronger, yeah, and more focused, like something specific just got activated.
Suggests their first visit stirred things up, woke something else up, maybe?
Could be. And get this. Ryu feels this amplified energy resonate directly with the power of nothingness inside him, like a clear signal.
Interesting.
At the exact same time, Abel's looking at the data logs, and a file that was locked before, suddenly accessible.
And the signature matches the energy surge.
Bingo. And it points to a deeper section of the facility, shielded, somewhere they didn't reach before.
Wow. So it's synchronized. Ryu feels the energy. Abel gets the data. It's pulling them both back.
Inevitably, yeah. They meet up again right at the entrance to this heavy-duty vault. The air is just crackling with power.
No need for long talks this time, I guess.
Nope. Silent acknowledgement, that shared experience, the respect they built, it's enough. They know they need to face this together.
That immediate return, ready to face whatever's new, it really shows how strong that bond became. They know their best chances together.
So inside the vault, they find the source. An advanced S.I.N. Guardian prototype.
Advanced how?
Sleeker, more powerful than the last one. Still running on residual energy, but the scary part, it's designed to learn and adapt.
Uh-oh. That's not good. Learning from his opponents.
Seems like it. And it's standing guard right in front of a terminal that's projecting all this holographic data. Looks like the answers Abel's been hunting for.
So S.I.N. built a learning robot to guard its deepest secrets. Figures. Makes the info seem even more critical.
And this Guardian, no hesitation, attacks instantly. And right away, it starts mimicking some of their moves. Testing them, adapting on the fly.
Okay, so that's a whole different ballgame. Their old tactics might not work if this thing learns too fast.
The fight's back on. Ryu's moving incredibly fast, fast as the wind again. Quick strikes, probing Hadokens.
But the Guardian adapts.
Yeah. Its energy signature shifts. It starts deflecting his attacks more effectively. Abel tries his daring of fire approach, tries to grapple.
Let me guess, the plating shifts.
Exactly. Reconfigures somehow, prevents him from getting a solid hold.
So brute force is out. They need something smarter, more unpredictable.
Definitely. The Guardian starts countering too.
Yeah.
Energy bursts aimed at Ryu. Then surprising agility and raw power against Abel. It's clearly learning fast.
So Ryu realizes he needs to ditch the patterns.
Right. He goes back to that quiet of the forest mindset. Observing, looking for openings the machine hasn't anticipated yet. Unpredictable.
While Abel, the immovable mountain, probably shifts tactics too. Maybe disruption.
Yeah, he focuses on throwing it off balance, isolating limbs, forcing it onto the defensive, creating those tiny windows. He even warns Ryu, like, this thing's still adjusting. We gotta break its rhythm.
Okay, so they need a coordinated, decisive move.
That's the moment. Ryu launches this totally unpredictable flurry of strikes and feints.
Yeah.
Pure distraction, drawing its defensive focus.
Creates that opening.
And Abel dives in. Doesn't go for a big hold, but a calculated close-range assault. Hits the joints, the critical junctions, places the adaptive plating maybe can't cover perfectly.
Smart. Exploiting the gaps in its adaptation. Precision over power.
Then Abel follows up fast. Devastating sequence throws. Holds, ending with this massive suplex.
Leaves it stunned. Core exposed.
Just for a second, but yeah. Core exposed. It's Ryu's chance. He gathers the power of nothingness again. But this time, it's like ultra-focused, a single point of immense energy.
All that control, drawing power from emptiness.
He aims it right at the exposed core. Direct hit.
And that's got to be it.
Overloads the whole system. The advanced prototype shudders, then just deactivates. And that oppressive vault atmosphere clears completely.
Wow. So their refined teamwork, adapting to the adapter. It worked. Cleared the path for Abel.
The vault goes silent, just their heavy breathing. Abel walks over to that terminal, the one the Guardian was protecting. It's fully accessible now.
Must be intense for him.
His hands are actually trembling a bit as the data streams up. Researcher names, project code names, locations of other S.I.N. facilities.
Other facilities, okay.
And then he sees it. A specific sequence.
Yeah.
Numbers, dates. It just resonates with him. It's not a full memory floating back, nothing like that.
But it's something real. Tangible.
A solid, undeniable lead. That's the key.
Finally. After all this searching. That's the breakthrough he needed. Not the whole picture, maybe, but a definite direction.
You see the relief wash over him. He just breathes out, this is it. It gives me direction.
And Ryu.
He's watching Abel, and you see this quiet satisfaction. He gets it. He sees the strength they found together, the connection.
Yeah, that sense that strength isn't just about solo power. It's in those bonds, the shared challenges, the mutual support.
Ryu says something thoughtful again about the warrior's path being about discovery and how sometimes the biggest discoveries happen when you walk that path alongside someone else, even for a short time.
Really drives home that theme, doesn't it? The power of those unexpected alliances.
Abel just looks at Ryu, genuinely thankful, says, "Thank you, Ryu."
And Ryu, being Ryu.
Humble acknowledgement. Basically says, our paths might split again, but the respect is there. It'll last.
They both get it. This isn't the end of the road for either of them. It's a new chapter. Abel has a real lead now. Ryu's learned something valuable about connection, too.
Yeah. And as they leave the vault, the sun's starting to rise outside.
Nice symbolism. Pushing back the darkness.
Exactly. Dawn of new possibilities. Abel's got his lead, tangible hope. Ryu's got this reinforced understanding of strength and connection. Their quests feel validated,
Right.
advanced because they helped each other.
That sunrise is a great metaphor. Hope, new purpose after facing all that S.I.N. darkness. New beginnings for both of them.
So wrapping up this deep dive, it's really clear, isn't it? That alliance between Ryu and Abel, it was way more than just a temporary team-up.
Absolutely. Their different skills were essential to beat those threats.
And Abel, crucially, finally has a real foothold, a significant step forward in that long, hard search for his identity.
What really stands out is how their individual quests for strength, for identity, got tangled up together. It just shows that even if you think you're on a solitary path, collaboration, that shared purpose, can really light the way and push you forward.
Yeah, it really can. And that kind of brings us to our final thought, something for you, the listener, to chew on. Think about maybe the unexpected allies in your own life. How might sharing a challenge, maybe even a tough one, be opening up new paths or perspectives you hadn't really seen before? What seemingly unlikely connections out there could actually hold surprising value for you in whatever you're pursuing?
It's definitely something worth pondering. Unlikely connections, hidden value.
Yeah,